Ladies and gentlemen, and persons listening out there in TV land, radio land, and social media, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the online travel form. Let me first adopt the protocol established. The travel form is the form that all incoming passengers must complete, whether you're traveling by air or by sea. To access the travel form, you can access it by going to the website knatravelform.kn. One of the first things you'd have to determine is where you're traveling from. Are you traveling within the bubble? Have you been in one of those Caribbean bubble countries over the past 21 days? Are you a returning national from a country or territory outside the CARICOM bubble? Or are you an international tourist or international traveler? And once you've identified the option, then you can go and proceed to complete the immigration and customs travel form section. There's also a section for health as well. The first section you would find in the travel form for immigration would be the arrival section. So you have to indicate the flight information as well as your contact details. It's important to note that you must enter an email address because the email address would be used to where we would send the confirmation email. Where you're staying. Now, if you're traveling from a country that is outside of the bubble, you'd have to be looking at booking at the site for vacation in place. So ensure that you have that site pre-booked before you complete the form, because you'll be required not only to select the respective location, but you'd also be expected to enter the confirmation number. Then you would indicate how many persons are traveling with you. Are you traveling alone or are you traveling with family members? The next step would be to enter the traveler's information. Once you've entered the travel information, you would have to upload the passport data page, or if you're traveling on any other travel document, then you would have to upload the data page which have your picture and the ID and other associated information of that ID. The other section you would have to complete would be the port health surveillance section for questions and screening. In this section, you'll be asked questions about, are you experiencing any symptoms, any COVID-like symptoms? Do you have any underlying health conditions? Have you made contact with anybody who is suspected of having COVID? Have you been tested positive for COVID before? And also, be ensured to know that you must upload a negative PCR test taken from an accredited lab within 72 hours of travel to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. The next section that you would have to complete would be customs. So the customs declaration form, as you would normally do on the ED form, will now be all electronic. So you would have to complete pieces of luggage, what you're bringing, etc. And then finally, you would have to give consent, because when you come into the Federation, if you're coming from outside the bubble, you would have to be quarantined. So you're giving consent to say, I confirm that I would accept to be tested, to be quarantined, and I'll be guided by the COVID-19 protocols of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Once you've done so and confirm and do a final submission, you would be expected to get an email notification almost immediately once you've submitted. It is important to note that you will receive a QR code as well as a receipt number within your email. You would have to await for an approval confirmation from the National Security, Ministry of National Security. Once you get that approval letter, then you can now print that and bring it when you're coming to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you very much, and we look forward to welcoming our returning nationals and visitors back to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis when we reopen on the 31st of October 2020. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the staff that have been working with me on completion of this form, Travel Morris and Oren Joseph. Thank you very much.